Hey guys, so Maya reached out to me and said that her wrist has been bothering her from all the push-ups we've been doing this past week. And she actually did a pretty good self-diagnosis. She says, what do you think? Do I need more flexibility? Do I need more strength? Should I just let it rest? And probably all three would improve the health of that joint. If it's really aggravated, there's a lot of inflammation there, just letting it rest for a little bit rather than trying to work through it might be really good for you. You're taking a day or two off. But there are some exercises that I do very regularly, and I wish I could claim these as my own, but I learned these all from John, who is the handstand master, handstand guru of CrossFit Kuleana. So feel free to reach out to him if you have any persisting wrist aching, and if this doesn't work, he's got even more drills. His depth of knowledge goes very deep on this kind of stuff because he works on handstands. He's a handstand master, and there's a lot of weight put in your wrist, so he's managed those issues and worked through them with many, many people. This is what I learned from him, and it starts out where there's a series of stretches to get the joint more mobile, more flexible, and then it moves into some more strengthening exercises after that. And the rest part, well, you can just do that on your own. So here's how I'll start. You turn your fingers back in toward your knees, like so, and then just gently sit back toward your heels. You can shift your weight left and right. And we're getting a nice stretch in the forearms and the wrists here. Now, how long should you hold this position? I like to go 10 to 20 seconds. Let's do a shorter version for today, just so I can expose you to all the things. Then you can start to turn the hands out, so they're facing away from each other. You can draw some circles right here. Do a few circles in each direction. We'll bring it back, we'll go the other direction. All right, and now you can keep going. Keep turning your hands in that same direction, where now they're facing in. You can draw some bigger circles. And this is the weird part. Now we're going to turn it in a little bit more. I'm not very good at this one. But your hands are turned all the way in as far as you can get them. And you try and sit back into that position and shift your weight around, seeing where you feel that stretch. This is a tricky one for me. I don't have much ability to get into this position. You watch John do it and he can turn his fingers straight back toward his knees. All right, and then we go back of the hands down like this. And now maybe you're stuck right here. You're like, ow, this really hurts. By the way, to lessen the pressure on your hands, if this is really strenuous, walk your knees a little bit closer. And now put a little more weight into your legs so your hands aren't supporting as much of your body weight. Or you can move it back to put more weight and more stretch into your arms. So this is level one. Notice there's a bend in my elbows. Level two is, can you straighten your arms? Ooh, oh, okay, need to bring my knees back in. Can you straighten your arms? Level three is, can you externally rotate or turn your elbow pits forward like that? That is level three, and that is a great stretch. The back of the wrists. And now can you, I guess this is level four, can you sit your weight back toward your heels as you shift your weight left and right and get a stretch in the back of the wrists. So honestly, I haven't been doing this enough, and my wrists are suboptimal right now. So I'm struggling with this a little bit. But it's good, I need to be doing this right now. Extra rotation. Okay. And we'll roll the wrists out. Try to stay in frame here. There we go. Still in frame. Whew, okay. Now, so this knowledge goes well beyond CrossFit. This is very specialized, and it's a lot of gymnasts will go through a routine similar to something like this. This is that kind of in-depth knowledge, specialized knowledge for people doing handstands and putting a lot of wear and tear on the wrists. So again, John is the man, John Barnes. He's the man who showed me all these things. Reach out to him for more info. Now, let's get into some strengthening exercises. So this will also, not only does it help you improve the strength in your wrists, but it will directly improve your your strength if you are working on your handstands, or if you have a handstand, it'll improve your strength and ability to balance in the handstand position. So, added bonus. So you're gonna place your hands on the ground like so, and adjust your knees to give you the appropriate challenge here. And here's what I'm looking for. A set of 10 where the last 3 or 4 reps, the latter half, let's say, are pretty darn challenging to finish out those reps, okay? So adjust your knee position closer to make it easier, further away to make it more challenging, depending on your strength. So hands on the ground, and now you're gonna pick your thumbs up off the ground, like that, and keep them raised off the floor the entire time. Now move your shoulders so they're stacked right on top of your palms, on top of your wrists, and from here we're gonna press up and do what's called I believe it's called a finger push-up, or a palm push-up, something like that. John, you can correct me if I'm wrong. So press up, and we'll do 10 reps here. Oh, maybe I need to make it a little easier for myself to walk my knees in a little bit. But you don't want to be sitting back here, knee or shoulders directly over your wrists. 5, 6, 7, 8, and we'll do 10 reps. 9, 10. Now, I felt some pain in my wrist right there. So if you feel pain, lighten the load on your wrists. We don't want to aggravate it anymore. Sometimes you have to work through a little bit of pain for things to get better. But if it's too much of the bad kind of pain, make it easier for yourself and don't injure yourself further. Okay, so that's strengthening exercise number 1. Here's number 2, is where you place your fists down on the ground, and this one really helps to have a soft surface, like maybe a yoga mat or a carpet would be great. So you're up here on your fists, and let's walk your knees in pretty close for this one, at least while you figure it out. And the idea is we want to keep a straight line from the forearm into the wrist. So as I push my elbows out, I'm going to push my elbows directly out to the side. They're going to flare out. And I'm going to open up my hand while I do that to keep this straight line. So at a certain point, that straight line is going to break. So right about here, maybe my hand falls flat. So I kind of broke that line. And that's okay. That's supposed to happen. But we're just going to guide it down to that point, maybe a little further. I actually like to bring my nose to the ground. And then we're going to do the exact reverse of that motion. So we don't want to come here and then press up. We're trying to keep that straight line even on the way up. So let me demonstrate. On the way down, I'm opening up my palms, or my fists, as I press out, and I'm resisting on the way down, trying to keep that straight line. And then it breaks, touch the nose. And on the way up, I'm pressure on the back of the palms as I roll back up and I try to reestablish that straight line back to the starting position. So that's 1 rep. We go for 10 here, slowly controlling that descent. And you want to feel the pressure on the back of the hands here. You touch your nose, pressure on the back of the hands as you roll up. Now the pressure's on the knuckles and the fingers as I come back to the starting position. Whew! That one feels amazing for the wrist strength. And that's what it is. It's essentially, we're eccentric loading it and then concentrically loading it. And I think at this point, we've done enough eccentric movements to know that that's really good for creating strength in any muscles or any joints in the body. Like eccentric pull-ups, eccentric push-ups, all really great, and a rehabilitative tool. Lastly, this one's called the dolphin push-up, and it's kind of weird, and this one you have to be really, really gentle with out the gates, okay? So err on the side of caution here, because people get injured doing this one. That's the best way I can explain it. So we're gonna move the knees in where the knees are all the way forward, place our hands out to the side, we're gonna go super wide. We're gonna place the backs of the hands down on the ground, and maybe you can move your hands forward a little bit, but you want to take most of the weight in your legs here. And we're going to lean over the top, lower down, touch the nose to the floor, and then press on up. And at this top position, you want to straighten your arms, and then ideally, turn your elbow pits forward. So you go down, nose touches, press up, and externally rotate. Now, if you can be very gentle and very slow with this progression, you walk your legs back so that more weight is put into your hands and into your arms. You'll get a little bit more or better stretch let's call it more stretch. It may not be better if you do it that way. So there you have it, guys. I hope that helps. Give those a shot and maybe do 10 reps of each all the way through. Spend 10 to 20 seconds in the stretches, and you could go through that entire sequence. Once would be a minimum. Twice, that I'd say is a sweet spot. 3, if you really, really want to get on top and manage this. 3 would be a very thorough number of rounds to do all that. All right, guys, hope that helps. I wish you all happy and healthy wrists. Catch you soon. Aloha.